The NFL Draft is almost here, and we want to make sure you don't miss a moment of it as we'll be live here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report on Thursday and Friday. We'll be breaking down every single pick as it happens in real time. Don't miss out. The 2025 NFL Draft live right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Here's the challenge I have for the Chiefs Kingdom today. I want 50 new subscribers to sub to the channel and make sure to join us for our live coverage of the draft. Does that sound like a plan? I think that sounds like a plan. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and we'll get started with today's show. Welcome in to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid spoke to the media on Monday, and he talked about a number of different topics heading into the 2025 NFL Draft. And let's get started with what he had to say about the offseason program, which is officially underway. And for Andy Reid, it's back to business. And he's excited to get this thing going again, and rightfully so, with how good the Kansas City Chiefs have been over the last few seasons. They're kind of picking up where they left off, and they have some unfinished business after coming up just short in the Super Bowl in February. Andy Reid had this to say: I think it's a great time for the players. It's slowed down to where they get to see all the videos and cut-ups and work that the coaches put in to do these evaluations and to teach and to learn from the player's standpoint. It's also good communication so they can share ideas, players and coaches. They can ask questions, feel free about that, and there's no rush to do so. At the same time, they get their lifting in and running in that they need to build that base to get them through the season. So it's pretty much business as usual for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is perfectly fine. I don't think anybody's complaining about that the Chiefs are rolling along through this offseason and what's been very eventful, right? You had Joe Thuney get traded, and Brett Veach talked about that last week. That was something he didn't want to do, but something he had to do. You bring back Trey Smith and Nick Bolton, and now you get ready for the NFL Draft, and this team's in pretty good shape. One of the things that Andy Reid also brought up as far as the offseason program goes is that Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, once again, will be leading some workouts in his home state of Texas. And it's pretty fascinating because this is all on Patrick. This is something that, based on league rules, Andy Reid cannot be involved in, that Patrick has to lead the way. And it's all optional, but it's Patrick going out of his way to get these guys together, to get them on the same page. That way they're ready to go when training camp rolls around. Andy said this: last year we had some new faces or young guys in there. It was a little different. He had to really prep for that. This year he can go out and work on the things he knows the guys need to work on, the routes and that. I think it's an even better situation this year than it was last. And this is what makes Patrick Mahomes so special. We know he is such a talented football player, but it goes beyond that, right? It's the work that Patrick Mahomes puts in and day out through the offseason into the regular season. That's why Patrick Mahomes is so great, and I think we have every reason to think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have another fantastic season once again in 2025 with seeing him put that work in and being a true leader with these young guys there. And we expect a new receiver or two to be potentially added to this roster this week in the draft. And you better believe they're going to be getting a phone call from Patrick Mahomes. Hey, get down here to Tyler, Texas, or wherever they're holding these workouts at. Speaking of the 31st overall pick that the Chiefs have, who should they select? Should it be a wide receiver? Should they go offensive line? Who's the name that you'd like to see? It's our pinned comment today. You're on the clock. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Tell us who you think they should select. While we're on the topic of quarterbacks, there is a new quarterback in town, and that is Gardner Minshew. Minshew Mania has arrived in KC as he will be the Chiefs' new backup quarterback in 2025. And the thing that I keep going back to is, God forbid, if something does happen to Patrick Mahomes, Gardner Minshew has plenty of experience playing at a high level that he could get the job done and get the Chiefs through a situation And that's exactly what you're looking for in your backup quarterback. And Andy Reid is very optimistic about Gardner Minshew, along with his relationship with Patrick Mahomes. He said this: he's a good football player. I think it will be a good relationship between the two of them, referred to Mahomes. They both know each other and respect each other. I think they look forward to working together. They can speak more on that when you have the chance to talk to them. Gardner's a humble kid with a great personality, loves to play the game, and all of those, the same things that Pat has too. It should be a good working relationship. And Minshew is very capable. I think that he is going to be just fine as the Chiefs' backup quarterback, and being a veteran in this role compared to, let's say, if you were to go with a younger quarterback, he's going to be able to see things and be able to point things out that maybe a younger quarterback wouldn't be able to, that was in that backup quarterback role. So I thought it was a very good signing, go with Gardner Minshew, and I think Andy has every reason to be optimistic about Minshew as that backup quarterback. Do you believe in Gardner Minshew? Is he the right man for the QB2 job for Kansas City? You got two options here. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comments section and let us know. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose two or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking rebounds in basketball, home runs in baseball, goals in hockey. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with PrizePicks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your PrizePicks lineup, whether it's points, rebounds, assists. Take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. That's new, by the way, folks. Turn your playoff hot takes into tickets to basketball's championship series. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on PrizePicks will enter you in the Takes Two Tickets sweepstakes, which could get you in a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Let me show you what I got for PrizePicks. A little playoff basketball action as we're going with Luka to have more than 24.5 points, going with Ja Morant to have more than 19.5 points, and Austin Reeves to have more than 2.5 three-pointers made. If I put $20 down, all three of those hit, that turns into $100 on PrizePicks. Get $50 to play for free when you play $5. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, run your game. Another thing Andy talked about going into the draft on Thursday night is that he's very comfortable with this roster, that this team is in a good spot. And if you recall, Brett Veach, prior to the season even ending, one of the things that he was telling me and others at the Super Bowl was that they felt like free agency for them was going to be in the NFL draft, that they weren't going to spend much in free agency due to their lack of cap space, and that they felt that the draft was the best chance to really up their roster. And so the fact that they're already going into the draft in a good spot is a fantastic sign for where this team is at going forward from here. Andy Reid saying this: when you're sitting here, like we have the last couple of years, fortunate to be sitting in that position because of the wins that have taken place, but you have to discipline yourself to take the best player. With that, you've got to evaluate every position, and you've got to put all this time in. And Brett's done a great job with that. I think he's very comfortable with that right now. If we had to do it today, he and his guys are working overtime and making sure we all have the bases covered, and we'll come out of there with a good football player. So they're feeling pretty good. They're in a position of strength right now heading into Thursday, which is a great position to be. You don't have a ton of needs really to address. Sure, you need to work on the offensive line. It'd be nice to have another receiver or a corner or an edge rusher, but when you compare them to where other teams are at, life is good in the Chiefs Kingdom. How would you rate the Chiefs roster right now heading into Thursday night? Scale it for me in the comments section 1 through 10. How you feeling about this group? Weigh in and let us know what your grade would be. We also got an update from Andy Reid on the status of Rashee Rice as well as Jared Wiley, who each suffered season-ending injuries last year. Didn't see a ton of either player. Rashee Rice was off to a terrific start to the 2024 campaign, looking like a top 10 receiver before he got hurt. Jared Wiley, there was a lot of excitement about him as the number 3 tight end, and there's talk about the future. Could he potentially take the mantle from Travis Kelce and all that? Well, where do they go from here coming off the injuries? Well, Andy Reid gave this update on each of their status, saying, I can't necessarily give you the return date. They're doing well. That's taking place right now, but I can't tell you when they will be back exactly here. Both have been busting their tail. They're running, which is good. We'll just see how it goes forward here. We don't have them here on the field right now with us, so we've got to see the football part of it as we go. And if you recall, there was a report a couple of weeks ago that Rashee Rice is expected to be back in time for training camp at full strength. Still waiting to see what happens with Jared Wiley, but the truth of the matter is both guys are needed. Rashee Rice, I think, is coming into his own as one of the best receivers in football, and I hope he can stay out of trouble because I would love to see Rashee Rice here for a long time. Jared Wiley, he's drawn comparisons to none other than Travis Kelce, and I think we know who Noah Gray is at this point, a very good number 2 tight end, but he'll never be an elite tight end in this league, and that's okay. That's fine. Every team still needs a solid number 2 tight end. I think Wiley has the most chance to fulfill the mantle to take over for Travis Kelce and be that number 1 tight end based on his raw talent and ability. So they need Wiley healthy and to really show up and show out and potentially be that replacement for Travis Kelce down the line. We'll see. For continuing Chiefs offseason and draft coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Going to be a fun week ahead. We're just getting started. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.